everyone, it's Wednesday the 4th of October and I am back in my bedroom again. Don't worry, we will be leaving the bedroom tomorrow and Friday because I'm actually doing something other than just going to work and coming home. Tomorrow I'm meeting some friends for dinner and we're going to do some shopping after work, and on Friday there is talk of popping out at lunchtime to look for some pretty good Swedish cinnamon buns. So don't worry, we won't always be in my bedroom. Today I really wasn't sure what to talk about, and then the book people turned up at work. For those of you not in the UK, the book people, I don't know that much about them, but from what I can tell, they go to businesses and sell books every now and again. My mum works in a hospital and they go there quite regularly, and she picks me up some cool stuff whenever she sees things she thinks I'll like. And I had kind of seen the posters around the office building that I work in and hadn't really registered them, and then went down at lunchtime and was just like, books! I was so excited. And I had a quick browse, and then when we came back after lunch I bought a couple of things. I haven't got it with me, but I picked up I think an 8-volume box set of DC comics for a friend, but I also treated myself. I'm so happy to have this. I got myself a ticket a couple of months ago now to an event at Daunt Books in Hampstead with Vicky Chown and Kim Walker, who are the authors of this book. They were going to be doing a talk about, you know, the making of this book and why they got into things like this. And unfortunately there was some kind of breakdown on the tube, and despite leaving work early, I missed it. I had to go straight home because it had like already started and I was still trapped at Bond Street. So I was delighted to see this for such a good price, and I'm just really happy to see it. It's the kind of thing that I absolutely love. I am a great advocate of modern medicine. I think it's amazing. I suffered from asthma throughout my childhood and teens. I have terrible hay fever, and I get migraines, which makes me sound like I'm falling apart. I'm not. But I really love modern medicine. However, I don't like to pop pills as a first resort. I like to try other more gentle alternatives. So having a book like this is brilliant. So there's like an echinacea sore throat spray, which I think is pretty cool. But yeah, this kind of thing is always my first stop. And I think I probably mentioned this on the podcast, and I am planning to kind of show you some of my stuff one weekend when I've actually got some decent light. But I like making some of my own toiletries. So I make my own cleansing oil to remove my makeup and things like that. And I make my own hair oil. So there's bits and pieces in here that I'm hoping will be good for kind of hair growth and things like that. So yeah, I will have a read of this, and probably later in the month I will tell you what I thought of it, if I think it's a buy now. But yeah, I mean, that's a bargain. Obviously I was going to buy it. I'm also currently reading this beast. This is The Mountain Shadow by Gregory David Roberts. This is the guy who wrote Shantaram, which I've mentioned on the podcast as being one of my favourite books of all time. And this is the sequel. Rich and I read Shantaram back in, I think, 2015, 2014. It might even have been before that, to be honest with you. It might have even been like 2012. I don't know. A very long time ago. And we said at the time, God, wouldn't it be amazing if there was a sequel? A couple of months ago, went into Daunt Books, and this was sat on the shelf, and I think it was published in like 2015, so we're pretty behind the times here. Rich read it first, which is why it's so battered, because he just chucks it in his bag and he doesn't like love and care for the books the way I do. And he tore through it, and I'm kind of I've read about this much. I do most of my reading on the tube, and I haven't really done much reading over the past few weeks. Kind of struggling to get into it, which is really sad, because I adored Shantaram and it's just not quite as good. And I think if I'd never read Shantaram, this would have been an amazing book. But because I'm comparing it to its predecessor, it's just not standing up as well. So yeah, that's a little bit disappointing. I'm still enjoying it. I think I've put it down for a little while just because it's not as good as Shantaram. I think I'm going to have a chat with Rich tonight and be like, does it get better? But either way, I'm going to finish it. I really want to know what happens to Lynn, Carla, Lisa, all these amazing people. I don't want to go into spoiler territory, but there is a character missing, which I knew he would be missing because he's dead. Which kind of makes me sad about this book because he was my favourite. As soon as I finish The Mountain Shadow, I will be reading the 4th Outlander book. I read the first one when the first series came out, and I read books 2 and 3 last year and kind of overdosed a little bit, because it is quite hilarious how Claire has so much knowledge about the past and yet still manages to rush headlong into some of the worst decisions you can possibly make with that knowledge. But we've started season 3 and I really want to read the next book. I think it's called The Drums of Autumn. I think that's the 4th book. But I've downloaded it and I'm really looking forward to having a read of it. So yeah, that's what I'm reading at the moment. I would love to hear what you're reading. I love hearing recommendations. I have a Kindle wish list on Amazon that's about 7 pages long. So that's where I put all my recommendations, and then when I'm looking for a new book, I can just flick through that and just download whatever I fancy. Works for me. Right, well, I'm gonna go and I'm going to put my camera straight in my handbag because otherwise I will forget to pack it tomorrow. And we are, as I said, going out for dinner with the girls, and I think I am going to pop into Lush and see some of their Halloween goodies. So I will take you along with me. And I'm very curious, if I show you around Lush a little bit, to hear if any of it looks different to what you get in Europe or the States. So we will see. But take care, have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!